Hi, my name is Lindsay. I'm one of the fitness instructors here in Yuki. Today I'm going to go over a basic intro to mat fitness. This program is great for people of all ages, including seniors. The goal of the program is to help you with physical, muscular strength, and body awareness through this safe practice of technical fitness. Okay, so we are going to start with some warm-ups for our upper body. You're going to start with your arms out and your feet hip distance apart. You're going to do something called a spinal twist. So in that, you're going to rotate through the hip and the shoulder 3 times. Each time you rotate, you're going to try and grow a little taller. So you're going to inhale with me. As you exhale, we're going to do a slight twist, looking over the shoulder, and exhale. Inhale, slight twist, grow a little taller. 3rd time, a little taller, looking over that shoulder, and then come back to center. We're going to go to the left. Inhale, slight twist through the shoulder and hip, look over the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale as we twist. Inhale. Twisting one more time. Grow nice and tall. Open the shoulders. Open the chest. Look over your palm. Come back to center. And do that one more time, heading to the right. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Trying to really rotate through the hips and through the shoulders rather than twisting your thoracic spine. Last time over to the left. Inhale. Exhale, we twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Come back to center. Bringing your arms overhead now. We're going to pull our elbows to the ground, stopping at shoulder height, using my traps to pull the arms down. Arms come up. Using your traps and lats, pull the arms down, squeeze your shoulder blades together, palms together, arms up. Keep going. Pull the arms down like you're pulling through molasses. It's really slow, really squeezing your shoulder blades together, opening the chest, arms up. 8, pull down, pull up. 7, pull up. 6, pull up. 5, up. 4, pull up. 3, pull up. 2, pull up. Last one, pull down, squeeze those shoulder blades together. I want you to tip your hips forward if you're sinking into your lower back. As you tip forward, you're going to squeeze your glutes. That's to protect your low back from pulling any weight. Now from here, I want you to bring your palms to the floor without moving your shoulder blades. So I'm rotating only through the shoulder here. Okay, palms down, palms up. Okay, so we're going to start with some shoulder mobility work. You're going to have your feet hip distance apart, arms overhead, palms facing each other. From here, I'm going to use my shoulder blades, so my traps and my lats, to pull my arms down, elbows to the floor, nice and slow. Palms together. Pull down through the shoulder blades, through the lats. Squeeze your shoulder blades together like you're squeezing an acorn between them. Pull the arms up, palms together. Pulling down nice and slow, shoulder blades together. You're opening the chest. Pull up. Pull it down for 8. Palms together, pull up. 7, nice and slow, really draw the chest open. Pull it up. Shoulder blades, pull down, pull up. Keep going. Beautiful. You've got 4 to go. Pull those palms together. 3, elbows to the floor. Palms together. 2, pull it down. Palms together. Last one, pull down, stay there. I want you to tip your hips forward so that your glutes engage. Pelvis is now tilted. From here, we're going to bring our palms to the floor, rotating through the shoulder, not dropping the elbows. Palms down, palms up. We're working on our mobility through those shoulder joints. Pull up. Palms to the floor, keeping the elbows up. Really try not to let the shoulders drop or the elbows drop. Palms down, palms up for 8. Pull it up. 7, 6, 5, don't give up. 4, 3, 2. Last one. I know your shoulders are probably burning, but without dropping the elbows, let's pull our palms together now and apart. Squeezing the shoulder blades. Palms together, pull back through those shoulder blades again. Palms together, pull it back, don't drop the elbows. Together, pull it back, that's 8. Pull it in. 7. Beautiful. Tip the hips forward if you're sinking into your low back. Protect your lumbar spine by squeezing your glutes. 4, 3, 2, Last one from here, bring the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, push it out. That's great, really good shoulder warm-up. Okay, we are gonna move on now to your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, and your ankle strength. We're gonna start in a first position. So that's when my feet are turned out and my heels are together. 2 fists could fit in between my feet, not much more than that. You're gonna squeeze your glutes, again, tilting your pelvis forward slightly so that you're not sinking into your lumbar spine. You're protecting your lower back. From here, you're gonna pretend that somebody's pulling your head up to the ceiling as you lift onto the balls of your feet. Your heels will not come apart. By keeping your heels together, you're allowing your adductors and abductors to work with the glutes and the calves, and without swinging my hips at all. So really isolated, your trunk is not moving, your head is being pulled to the ceiling. Look at something on the ground or myself to keep you balanced. Pulling up onto the balls of the feet, heels together, lower down. So that's really different than lifting through the hips. I want you to be mindful of that. Lifting onto the balls of the feet, we lower down. This is 8, and lower, squeeze the glutes. 7, lower. 6, lower. 5, lower. 4, lower. 3, lower. 2, lower. This time, lift and hold. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze the core for 8, 7, 6, heels together, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, second set, right away. Reset, tilt the hips, squeeze the glutes. We pull for 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Final set right away. This is our third and last set. 3, we lift. 2, 3, 4. Check in with your glutes. Make sure they're engaged. Pelvis slightly forward. Heels together. This is 6, 7. Lifting through the top of your head. 8. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lower down, shake your legs out. That was great. Okay, roll it out. Beautiful. We're going to do the same series through second position. So your feet should be just wider than your hips, and then feet turned out. So a slight turn out through the feet. For me, I'm on a yoga mat, so my big toes are at the edge of my mat. Something similar like that would be great for you. Following that same foundation of tilting the pelvis slightly forward, pulling from the top of our head rather than swinging through the hip. Squeeze the glute, we're lifting. 1, through second position. 2. You'll feel this more in your calves. 3, 4, a little bit in the adductors and abductors, IT band. 6, 7, hold, look at something on the ground. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Second set right away onto the balls of the feet for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last set. Tilt the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, pull for a third set. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower those heels down. Walk your feet in, heel toe, so that your feet are now right underneath your hips. Bring your chin to your chest. Roll down one vertebrae at a time around the spine. Walking the hands towards the mat, grabbing your elbows, and hang. Feel free to bend one knee then the other. Stretch out the legs, stretch out the calves, stretch out the lumbar spine. All right, once you're all stretched out and comfortable, I'm going to get you to come to a seated position. I'd like you to place your left foot behind the right. Bring your arms overhead and slowly sit back onto your left knee and then onto your sit bones, rather than just collapsing to the floor. From there, bring your legs behind you and come up to a tabletop position. For this one, your shoulders are over your wrists, your knees stacked under your hips. If it's bothering your knees, just roll your yoga mat and rest your knees on a rolled mat for support. Now you're going to place an imaginary cup of soup on your lower back, okay? That soup is really hot. If you arch your back or tilt your hips, that soup is going to spill. So you want to squeeze your core and really isolate your trunk so that your soup rests without spilling on your body. From here, again, shoulders are stacked over the wrist. We're going to try and extend the left arm and then pull it back to the ground. Squeezing the core. Extend, back down. Keep going. Extending the arm, pulling it down. The arm should pull to about shoulder height and down. Extension and down. If your wrists are bothering you, scrunch your fingertips like you're holding sand underneath your hands, and that'll take some of the pressure off the wrist and place it onto the palms of your fingers. 3, 2, 1. This time, as you extend your left arm, you're also going to extend your right leg. Again, squeeze your core, really protect your back from getting burnt by that soup. Tight core, tight trunk. Let's extend opposite arm to leg and lower. Opposite arm to leg, lift and lower. 8, lower. 7, lower. 6, lower. 5, lower down. 4, and lower. 3, lower. 2, lower. Last one, extend, hold there for a breath. Inhale. Exhale to lower. Open the knees, push back to a child's pose. Rest your back, rest your shoulders. Coming back onto the hands and knees, sorry about my dog. We're gonna now do the opposite side. So repositioning yourself, stacking hips over top of the knee, shoulders over top of the wrists, placing that soup on our back, squeeze the core, and lifting the right arm now without letting the shoulder drop forward over that wrist, okay? Nice straight connections. Extend, pull it in. Extension, pull it in. Remember, grab the floor with your fingertips. If your wrists are feeling bothered, take some pressure off the wrists. Pull that arm down. Beautiful. 4 to go. 3, 2, last one. And now we're going to incorporate our legs. So lifting the right arm and extending the left leg, tight core, extension, pull it in. Don't let that soup drop. Extend, pull it in. We've got 8 to go. Remember to breathe. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, hold for a big inhale. Exhale to lower. Opening the knees, pushing back to a child's pose. Great job. From here, I'm going to have you lower onto your stomach, nice and safely. We're going to get into our back a little bit. If you have any sort of back problems, I'm going to tell you how best to protect your back, but you can always decide for yourself if an exercise isn't right for you. And feel free to email me if there is an exercise that you'd like to do, but it isn't feeling right. I know back problems are really common. The more we can strengthen our core and strengthen our back, hopefully the more we can alleviate them, but no need to do anything that isn't right for you. Keeping that in mind, let's see how we do. We're going to start with opposite alls. So you're going to rest your head on your yoga mat or on top of your hands. And I want you to first start by just pushing your hip bones into the mat and take away the space between your hip bone and your pelvis and the floor. So hip bone and pelvis push into the mat and alleviate the space between the hip and pelvis and the yoga mat. That gap is now gone. My glutes engage. My back's protected. Release from the floor, that natural curve in your spine. You've got that gap between your pelvis and the ground. Your glutes are loose. Pushing back into the floor, pelvis to the ground. Squeeze the glutes together. push into the floor, release. Play with that a few times. Hips into the mat, squeeze the glutes, hold, release. 4 more times, push it in, release. Remember to breathe, push. Hip bones into the mat, release. 3, 2. Last time, push, hold your hip bones there. Hip bones are glued to the ground, extending your arms overhead, forehead resting on your mat now. We're gonna lift our opposite arm to leg. So I'm gonna lift my left arm off the ground and my right leg off the ground slightly. My knees always facing the ground still. Lifting the arm up and leg up, opposite arm to leg. Lift here, lower down. Pretend somebody's pulling your wrist in one direction and your heel the other. Extend far away, lift and lower. Keep going. Opposite arm to leg lifts, lower. Staying on the same side, pull the arm far away, heel opposite direction, like your body's being stretched out. Keeping that hip bone pressed into the mat to protect the back, squeeze the glutes. 6 to go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, lift and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lower down, other side. Release your hip bones from the ground. Rock side to side. When you're ready, we're going to realign ourselves. So, pressing your stomach into the mat. Forehead down. Hip bones connected to the ground. Glutes are engaged. Lifting the other arm into leg. So, I was on my left before. I'm going to now lift my right arm, left leg. Knee faces the ground. Lift and lower. Pulling with the glutes and the traps. And lower. 6 to go. Lower. 5. Lower. 4. Lower. 3. Lower. 2. Lower. Last one, let's hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower down. We're going to try both now. So only lifting the arms slightly, only lifting the legs slightly. We're going to lift both arms and legs at the same time. So again, shake your hips out. Give your back a rest. Give your glutes a rest. Reposition yourself to the mat, forehead down, hips down, glutes engaged. Lifting both arms and legs at the same time, pulling them far away from each other. Extend, reach, and pull. Hip bones glued to the floor, lower down. Reach, arms away, heels away, lower, and lift. Lower down. Arms away, heels away, push into the ground, lift. And lower. 6. Lower. 5. Lower. 4. Lower. 3. Lower. 2. Lower. Last one, let's hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower down. Open the knees, press back again to child's pose. Give yourself a rest. When you're ready, coming back to your stomach safely, we're going to move on to using our shoulder blades and lats. So traps, lats, working with the back. Trying to protect your lumbar spine and your thoracic spine, right? Really engaging your muscles, really engaging your glute muscles. So squeezing your bum to protect your lumbar spine and focusing on your lats and your traps doing the work here rather than yanking on the back, okay? For this exercise, my arms are going to be, underneath me. My head resting on the top of my arms, my hands. Pushing my feet into the floor, gluing the tops of my feet down, and again, hip bones to the mat, glutes engaged. I'm going to lift slightly so that my chest comes up and I hover over the mat. And then I lower down. Lift to hover, lower down. Keep going for 8. Squeezing your glutes to protect your back. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower down, elbows beside you, so you're making a right degree or 90-degree angle. Elbows out, hips to the floor, head to the floor. We're now going to lift our arms up by squeezing my shoulder blades together like I'm squeezing an acorn between my shoulder blades. Squeezing my acorn, elbows lift, lower down. Squeeze that acorn and lower. Elbows lift, squeeze the acorn, lower. 6, lower. 5, lower. 4, lower. Squeeze those glutes, protect your back. 3, 2, squeeze and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower that down. If that bothers your neck at all, try tucking your head in a little more so you're resting the top of your forehead on the mat rather than lower towards your nose. Okay, last exercise here. We're bringing our arms overhead. We're going to flutter. So again, wiggle side to side, release your hips, release your glutes. And when you're ready, squeeze the glutes, hip bones down, protecting the back, forehead on the mat. My arms are going to lift up, and I'm going to flutter them, palms to the floor for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull the arms to your side, push back to child's pose. When you're ready, I'm going to meet you sitting at the top of your mat. We're going to move on to some glute work, or sorry, some core work. Get some water if you need water. Okay. Now we're going to move on to our core. From your child's pose, when you're ready, I'd like you to come on up to a sitting position at the top of your mat. Feel free to take some water now, give yourself a little break, and we're going to move on to our core. All right, we're going to move on to what we call a roll down. This is a variation of a crunchie, but it's done in a much more controlled way that forces your transverse abdominis to really engage. We don't use momentum to pull our body up, but rather we use our core. And we're not allowing any sort of yanking motion to bother our back as we do this. So I'll show you first. Feel free to take some water, like I said, and just watch. I'm going to sit nice and tall. The objective of this exercise is to roll down to the mat, nice and slow, and connect the lower back to the mat. So I inhale, I round my spine, I tilt my pelvis, and I start to roll one vertebrae at a time until my lower back makes contact with the floor. I'm really engaged through my core here. If I try and fit my hand underneath my lower back, I can't. That's called an imprint spine. From there, you're going to pause, and then using an elbow if you need support, or trying to keep your arms overhead, bringing your chin to your chest, we're going to try and roll up one vertebrae at a time. If you're stuck, you use an elbow, but please never yank the arms. Come up to a seated position. Great. So let's try it all together. Okay? Sit tall, round the spine, tilt the pelvis, rolling to the mat one vertebrae at a time, connecting the lower back to the mat. Your hand cannot fit. Chin to chest, roll back up. Good. 3 to go. Inhale. Exhale, round the spine, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Tilt the pelvis, low back makes contact with the floor. Your hand cannot fit under your lower back. Hold. Using the elbows if needed, we roll back up. 2 to go, round the spine, tilt the pelvis, roll down, nice and slow. Imprint spine, squish that low back to the mat, using elbows if needed, chin to chest, roll up. Last one, round the spine, tilt the pelvis, rolling down, drop the shoulders, relax the neck, imprint spine, breathe. Remember to breathe. Exhale as we roll up. Great. Take a break. We're now going to move on to tabletops. The goal of this exercise is to bring our knees up to a tabletop position using our lower core. I'm going to bring my arms out, so shoulder and wrists are in one straight line. I'm going to bring my left leg up to a bent position. My right leg is now going to match. I lower my left leg, I lower my right leg. Pretending there's a brick wall in front of, behind you and in front of you, not so that you're sitting vertical, I want you to be sitting comfortably, but once you've found that comfortable position, try not to let your torso move. So sitting against your imaginary wall, lift the left leg, lower the left, lower the right. Left leg, right leg, lower, lower. 6, lift, lower, lower. 5, lift, lower, lower. 4, lift, lower, lower. 3, lift, lower, lower. 2, lift, lower, lower. Last one, lift and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower down, rock it out. If that bothers your hips, if your hip flexors, your IT band, if you've got a lot of tightness in that area, it could bother your hips. Your option then is to not lift the leg so high. So you're bringing your knee towards your chest, more in a tucked motion as opposed to that tabletop shape. Okay, so that's your option for a modification there if that didn't feel good for you. Feel free to play with both. We're going to move on to our 100s now. So I'm going to again round my spine and sit against my imaginary brick wall in a comfortable position. My knees will come into my chest. From here, I'm going to pulse my hands to the floor for a 5 count. And as I count, I'm going to bring my heels away from my body for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm in a boat now, right? I incurve. Bringing my knees towards my body, I flip my palms up and I pull in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Kick out, palms down. 3, 4, 5. Pull them in, palms up. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 sets to go. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Palms in, pull up. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 to go. Kick out, palms down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Palms up, knees in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, kick it out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Palms up, knees in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop your knees, arch your back, wiggle side to side. That was wonderful. We're going to finish off with some oblique work. So that's the side abs basically here. Round the spine, lower down 1 vertebrae at a time like we discussed. Lower back can make contact with the ground first and then we can drop down to our head. I'm going to bring my knees up to that tabletop position now lying on my back. My elbows will be bent, palms to the ceiling, cactus arms. Bringing my knees to the right side, I'm going to drop them down and stop at a hovered position. My left shoulder blade will lift off the ground, that's okay. Hover here, use your obliques to pull the knees back to tabletop. Drop your knees to the left side. Right shoulder blade will come off the ground slightly, that's fine. Hover. You should feel a nice stretch through your back as well as the working of the obliques. Pull back to tabletop. Second set, drop to the right. Hover. Stretch it here. Use the obliques to pull back. Drop to the left. Hover. Feel a nice stretch through the back, through the shoulder. Hold it here. Obliques pulling your legs back to center. Good. Drop to the right. Hover. Knees to center. Drop to the left. Hover. Knees to center. 2 to go. Drop to the right. Hover. Knees to center. Drop to the left. Hover. Knees to center. Last one. Drop to the right. Hover. Knees to center. Drop to the left. Hover. Knees to center. From there, drop your knees to the right again. Let them completely rest on the ground. Take your head and look over your left shoulder. Stretch that out. When you're ready, bring your knees back to center, drop them to the left, relax, turn your head over to the right shoulder. Bring your knees back to center, bring the knees into the chest, wiggle side to side. Finishing off with a drain here, so straighten the legs to the ceiling, a slight bend is fine, palms up. You're going to rest here for a minute or two, and when you're ready, you'll grab the hamstrings, slight kick, roll up, and you'll be done your class for today. Thank you so much for doing this with me. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm happy to talk about posture and form. My email is packrimgym@gmail.com. Again, my name is Lindsay, and I really enjoy teaching you. Thank you.